Okay, I'm going to start turning this handle down, and some of you may have noticed that it looks a little bit different from the one that I clamped previously in the last video. The process that I showed you guys how to recess your cork for your reel seat and everything else. That's because during the middle of me grinding this or sanding this cork down, the battery died. This is the camera I'm using here, but the battery died and I didn't notice it till I was done. So long story short, this is the grip that you guys seen that I turned down, or that I started to clamp previously, and because the battery died, this is what I'm going to do now. So this cork that I originally turned down, I can use this in a later project. It's basically set up for a fly rod, but I can use this in a later project. I'm not too worried about it. So basically with this video, I just want to give you guys a quick overview of my setup here. Now, I only make about 3 to 5 rods a year. It's not something I do a lot, and as you guys know, this is the first time I'm actually making my own custom handle, so I'm not going to go out and spend $300 on a lathe that I'm only going to use 3 or 4 times. So basically what I have is just a drill, but this is just a regular drill, and a lot of the reading I've done, they recommend, people who do this, they recommend a drill at least the minimum of 2,500 RPMs, which this is a 3,000 RPM drill, so this will work perfect for what I'm doing. I just have it mounted to a 2x4. I have it all clamped to just my workbench here, and then just for a little bit of support on the end, I just have a piece of 2x4 to give it, some support as it's turning. So as I said, you can do this. I'm a guy who likes to, if I can repurpose something or use it different than what it was intended for, I'm all for it. But before I went out and bought a lathe, I just wanted to try this first to see how it worked. And this is actually what I used to turn down, this handle here. Same setup. Mounted to this 5/16 drill bit, which as you can see it is an actual wood bit, but I'm using it to adhere my cork rings to sand them down. Same process, so it can be done. You don't have to go and buy all expensive materials and different tools. Use what you can. Now, I'm not saying you can't go out and spend your money on that, but I prefer to do it this way, at least for now. If I get to the point where I'm making 20-30 rods in a year, then I'll probably justify buying a lathe, but right now I'm just using this. So I have my other camera set up here. It's going to give you an overhead view, and then I'm going to set this up to give you another view so you guys have kind of a dual perspective of when I'm turning this down. Now it's going to be loud. I'm going to have the shop vac running for dust. Whenever you're turning your cork down, you want some kind of ventilation, if not a dust mask, because this is wood. Cork is actually wood, and when you're sanding it, all these particles are flying everywhere. So I'm going to have the shop vac running, and then you can see how loud that is. I'm also going to have the drill running, so might have some music or some background noise behind, so you just don't hear all that. So I'm going to get everything set up and then get back to you guys here. So what we're going with here is reverse half Wells grip, and the high points on this grip are the back and the front. More towards the very front it tapers down, and then there's an indentation here. So that's kind of what we're going for with this one. Reverse half Wells grip. You need to take portions out from here to here, leave it a little heavy here towards the back, and then taper the front down. So I'm going to start off with an 80 grit piece of sandpaper just to get all the rough spots out, and then I'm going to start working out those different dimensions that I'm looking for. So I'm going to fire up the shop vac, turn the drill on here, and get going. dust everywhere. Okay, so we got most of that out of the way here. I'm going to start just using the 80 grit still. I'm going to actually work down to a smaller piece and then start beveling this down or tapering this down, this section here, and then notching this out. This might be a good fill here. I'll see. So instead of bothering you guys with the noise and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick and then get back. Okay, here we are back with the, I guess, call it the primary sanding, I don't know. But I like the way it turned out. I took my time. That's the key thing. You can't rush, because the faster you take off material, you can always take more material off instead of adding it back in. So here's the pattern. I'm a little heavy here, but I like that. This feel is different. You know, this isn't like a, it doesn't fit my hand that well. This feels nice in my hand right here, but this towards this bottom here, it's a lot. There could be, I would like more material here, so I left more there, and I like that a lot. That feels really nice in my hand, so I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to come next with 150 grit, and I'm just going to hit it just to kind of take out those grooves that, you know, those nice big sand marks that the 80 grit took out. So I'm going to fire it up here and just hit that real quick. And you can also take a little bit more material off, like here towards the tip. I got to focus on a little bit more. It doesn't quite taper, you know, as nice as I would like to. So I'm going to focus on these last two corks here. But other than that, I'm just going to kind of buff it out with this 150. Okay, so there we are. That was the 150. Now I'm going to come in with the, I think this is 220 and then maybe a 400. So, and then one other thing I'm going to do, grab my file here. This is just a regular flat file. I'm just going to hit this front a little bit just so I can taper, or not taper, but just so I can even that front out, you know, just so it's not, just to, I guess, make it nice. So I'm going to come in with the 220, hit it, and then grab my flat file and just hit that top a little bit. Maybe hit this back a little bit too. there we are. There is one reverse half Wells grip on your own lathe. Homemade lathe, I guess I should add. And next, what I'll do is, some of you people might be thinking, wow, a half inch, or not a half inch, a 1/4 inch hole on a 5/16 rod, you're never going to get that off. Well, you can get it off, and here's the proof. I already got it off once with this. The trick is to grease this up, or put paraffin wax on here, and then just put it in a vise, put one end in a vise, and gently just pull it off. It'll come right off, no problem. So I'm going to do that, and then I think the next video will be me adding everything to the actual rod blank and go from there. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. Like I said, technically this is the second time making a reel, or a grip. This is the first time, but like I said, the battery died halfway through and I left a lot of stuff out because I didn't know the camera died. But this is the second grip that I've ever made, and I really like the way that feels in my hand. A lot better than one you would buy from the store, being this one. You can see how down here my hands kind of cocked down, or here they're laying nice and flat across because I left a little bit more down in this area. And that's what's nice about making your own custom fly rod, even custom grip, is you can account for all that stuff. So I hope people got at least something out of this, as far as it's not too intimidating to start your own or make your own fly rod, even fishing rod. So just take the time, get the necessary tools and equipment, and you'd be on your way. So like and subscribe.